Today, let's take on Success Bench with Rosy under Notes and Coffee. Every success has a story. Are there any secrets? Note the lessons. Get inspired. Success Bench with Rosy. Welcome back to the 11th episode of my Success Bench with Rosy, featuring my former manager who started from scratch and worked his way up, Mr. Emil Velasco. Welcome on bench.
Hi everyone, my name is Amiel Velasco. I was a former colleague and manager of Rose way back when we worked together with a certain company. And right now I'm a survivor of life. So I've been working in the management leadership positions for the past couple of years, which is very fun. It's very fulfilling, and at the same time, I was able to meet a lot of people and share experiences with them.
That is nice to hear. It's such an honor to have you here tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, thank you for having me.
I'm really curious about how you worked your way up from the scratch.
With regard to your question, it's not an easy way. It's not an easy road that I took. It's the path that I'm in right now, different, dealing with different types of people, dealing with different situations all at the same time. It's very rough at the beginning. There are a lot of things that you didn't expect would happen, but would really help you become the person that you are right now.
We'll get into the details a little bit later. So right now, where are you in your life? In the sense of fulfillment, I don't know, maybe status.
Well, my life is pretty much happy right now. I could say I'm very happy with where I'm at right now. I'm tying loose ends of my life. I'm just trying to make sure that I have financial stability. At the same time, career wise, I'm choosing a company that would really support me for a long time. I'm planning to retire with the last company that I'll be working with. So my life is full of people that are permanently going to be there, people that would stay for a long time. And lastly, I'm in a place or I'm in a part of my life right now where I would want to make sure to give the best life to my family.
And what are the pain points that motivated you to be in this place right now?
Well, first thing is rejection. Of course, in my life, I couldn't count how many times I've been rejected and how many times I try to get over those rejections. But from what I've learned, rejections are redirections in life. It doesn't mean that you failed when you were rejected for, let's say, a certain position that you would want to apply to, or let's say a certain company that you want to work for. Whenever you are rejected, it means that something better is going to come in, and it's only you who would block your way in getting there. So most painful is one rejection or one pain point. Next is I could also say that mistakes is pain point because of course whenever you commit mistakes, it's not fulfilling on your part. You wouldn't be happy because you want to make things right. You want to do things right. So mistakes are painful, but at the same time, it's a learning experience. You would learn from your mistakes. Mistakes are somehow inevitable, but it would. What the good thing about it is that you should not let it remain as a mistake. You should learn from it and try to move forward with a different perspective in mind. So rejection, mistakes, and lastly, yourself. It's I could say it's a pain point because most of the time you have this battle with your own self. You have this battle in your mind, what you want to do, where do I want to go, what career would I want to take, or anything. It's always a battle with yourself. So as long as um, you're able to do the right thing at the end of the day, and you're able to decide what's the best thing for you by the end of the day, I think you'll also win over that pain point. So those three, I have rejection, mistakes, and yourself.
Really good points for anyone to learn from. If you could tell your younger self something, what would it be and why?
Well, if there is an opportunity for me to talk to my younger self one day, I would tell my younger self to never be afraid to stand up for yourself. There are a lot of times in your life where you have to fight for what you think is right for yourself, but because of the people around you, your colleagues, your environment, or anybody else that's hindering you from doing what you want, then you are on the wrong side of it. So I would advise my younger self to always never doubt yourself. Never doubt yourself, because if there's one person in this world that could really help you to be the best version of yourself, that would be just yourself and nobody else. If you don't start believing yourself as early as when you were younger, then you wouldn't really have this confidence to be where you're at right now.
Among the other learnings that you've had so far, what is the greatest?
Well, greatest learning is, aside from knowing what I've said earlier, that you should believe in yourself, it's not always just the self confidence that's going to bring you to success. It's also listening to your mentors, listening to your parents, more importantly, or listening and always ask for feedback. So you have to listen whenever people are giving you feedback, and at the same time learn from it. The best people to work with, or the most successful people in their lives, didn't just get there because they know everything. They got there because they listened for the suggestions of the people around them and tried to come up with the best idea that they could ever have to be successful. So um, that's one of the things that I keep to myself. Always know how and when to listen, and at the same time, for feedback, if you validate the feedback, if it's a valid feedback, then try to try to listen to it, or try to apply it. But you know, um, there are no perfect people in the world, so that's my stand on every time. If I would learn, I should know what people think of what I do, regardless if it's at work, professionally or personally. If it's at work, if people are not happy with your performance, or not happy with how you handle them, especially especially with this type of field that I'm in, leadership. Whenever you are a leader, it's always best to ask feedback, because you will only improve if you know how to listen. If you know how to listen, not regardless if it's the smallest person in the, or the rank and file employees, if it's you know, your superiors, whoever it is, you always have to listen to what they have to say, because that's where you'll learn. If you don't listen to what they have to say, then it's not it's just not going to work for you. You wouldn't really last, since nobody is an island.
And a great leader is also a great follower. What has been your life's guiding principle?
Well, since I grew up in an environment where my parents are my family are always in the church, I always look up to Bible for guidance, and my father. So my father always has one thing to say most of the time. He always tells me, whatever principles that you have in life, you should base it from the Bible. It might sound cliche because, yeah, Bible, religious thingy or whatnot, but it's working for me. It works for my family. So why not do it, right? So I always base it from the Bible, and at the same time I always pray, because I can't do this alone. I can't do this. My family wouldn't survive, especially with this pandemic. I wouldn't be where I'm at right now if it not with the guidance of my parents from the Bible, of course. So in life, there are a lot of times that you would be tried. There are a lot of times that you would feel like there's nothing good that's been happening in my life lately, and you just want to quit. But when you pray, when you seek the Lord with the guidance that you need, with the things that He could lead you to, then you would be surprised as to how the blessings would flow. Blessings not just financially, blessings in the sense that people would reach out to you. People would say that they're being motivated because of you. Even people that I've worked for like 5 6 years ago would chat me and say, hey Emil, I just want to say thank you because of what you did when we worked with this company. You taught me this, you taught me that. Now I am an operations manager. Things that would really fulfill, that will give you full sense of fulfillment, because some of them you would lose touch for like a couple of years, and then they would just send message or text your chat you tell you that they're so much happy that you've been part of their lives, that somehow you get to influence them. You get to contribute to the person they are right now. So yeah, you can never go wrong with the basic principles from the Bible, and seek guidance from it all the time and pray.
And I am also one of those people. Like, you've touched my life, even if very short time. Am I right to say, like, a great leader is someone who can turn one into a great leader as well?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, being a leader, it's not a one-man job. Being a leader is to create leaders, right? So that's for me. I mean, that's what I believe in.
I think that's one of your successes, turning like people you've touched into great leaders themselves. And I have to ask you,
Yeah,
what is a success for you?
well, I could say that success for me is the success of the people that, if I see the people that I work with are becoming successful, if I see that I give smile on my family's faces. I'm a very family oriented person, so their happiness is my happiness. As long as I'm able to provide food on the table, as long as we don't feel hunger, as long as there's roof on the table, it's very simple for me. That for me is a great success, especially in these trying times. Um, Whenever people reach out to you for advice, whenever people reach out to you to ask on what to do, or they want to ask your opinion on the most important decisions that they have in life, that for me is success as a leader, because it means that somehow at some point in their lives, when you work together, and or when you mentor them, they're able to retain something from you. They're able to learn something from you that they could use not just on their work or career, but also on their daily lives. Success is very subjective. So it would depend on who you're talking to. Success might be if you have a house, if you have a car, or if you have 1 million pesos in the bank. But more than that, um, for me, your success or my success would really be based from the people that I would want to be happy, based on the people that I love. There's based on the people that I care for. So long as they're happy, so long as they're able to, I'm able to touch their lives in a positive way, then I'm successful.
That's the sense of fulfillment, I would say. Sense of fulfillment for you.
Yes, it is.
Do you have anything to promote, to advertise?
I'm thinking of what to promote, since I don't have anything at the moment. But maybe I have a message for everyone, for your viewers especially. If you guys are viewing this video, imagine a person who started work as a working student in McDonald's. I started, bussing out tables, mopping the floor, hosting birthday parties of people I don't know, to somehow, it's a tough ride to being people in the leadership or in management of a company, of a big company. So it's not um, it's not an overnight ride. There are a lot of hardships. So my message for everyone who would want, or who would want to learn from my story, is never be afraid to make mistakes. Life is not a race. You know, there are a lot of people who would always check their social media, who would compare things or material things that they have, their classmates or the other people has, and that they would feel bad about themselves because they don't have things like that. You don't have to. Everyone has their own pacing. Yours might be slow, mine might be slower, or others might be fast. But the only thing that matters is that you start. You start and you never quit. Life would make you feel tired all the time. Life would make you feel like you would want to quit. But instead of quitting, you can take a rest, regain your energy, and then get back on the ground, get back to work, and always think of the reason why you're doing this. Why do I want to become successful? Why do I want to work? Why do I want to have this things or these goals in life? To whom am I doing this for? That would really pump you. That would really um, give you the direction that you want, give you the strength that you want to keep on going and to always move forward with a happy and smiling face. So, so that's my message. And at the same time, do not always expect that people are going to be nice, because life is gonna throw you a lot of people to test you, to test your patience, to test your determination to become successful. You would be tried a lot of times, but you just have to keep on going. You just have to keep on going. Um, at the end of the day, you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for yourself. You're doing it for the people that you love. You know, um, I was a working student back then. I only have like 2 to 3 hours of sleep every day before I travel back to work from school and vice versa. Um, and I was so thin back then. I was so thin. I was I was really, in the verge of quitting. And why am I doing this? I was only like 17 years old when I started working. So why am I doing this? Why am I given the responsibility to become a breadwinner? Why do I have to feed my family? It's like, there are a lot of questions in my head. But when I always see the smile on my parents' faces, when I always see how grateful they are to have a son like me, it's beyond all the money in the world. It's beyond the value of all the money in the world. So for the young ones, or for every viewers, you would have your chance. You would have your own moment to shine. You would have your own opportunity, but you will not meet that opportunity by just laying in bed, doing nothing. You have to work for it. And regardless of what other people says about you, you have to believe in yourself. Because at the end of the day, you know, it will all start with how you believe in yourself. The outcome, it's just gonna flow. Whatever you do, the outcome, if you're doing a good job, if you're doing positively, then it's gonna be a positive outcome. But if you're broken inside, if you don't believe in yourself, then the outcome wouldn't be that good. That's it, Rose.
And you can actually turn your brokenness to something positive, something.
Right. Of course. You can always be sad for one failure. I always give myself maximum of 3 minutes to mope about a failure, to feel bad about it. And then after 3 minutes, I should get back on the game. What's my plan B? Do something else. Do something that would make me more productive. Because being sad or feeling bad about something, crying over a spilled milk wouldn't give you anything. But doing something about it will.
Very well said. Great reminder for everyone. It's like an enlightenment again. That's the best part of doing this podcast, because you get to meet like minded people with great wisdom to remind me and everyone around how can life be still a life, a beautiful possibilities.
Right. It doesn't mean, that our lives are perfect right now. Everyone is still a work in progress. We would still have a lot to learn. Just keep an open mind and an open heart for it.
It's really nice. I've learned a lot from this podcast today. It's a treasure.
Thank you so much for having me.
So much for
I
being.
really enjoyed this podcast. I never thought I would enjoy talking, but yeah, I'm a talker. So
It has been spontaneous so far. It's been really spontaneous, and I really enjoyed it as well. I am so glad that you're so generous with your time, and I have.
yeah, anytime for you.
Thank you so much. That's it for Mr. Emil Velasco, my former manager. This is Success Bench with Rosy.
Bye, guys.
Success Bench with Rosy. Love, Rosy. Tune in for more videos and upcoming episodes. Subscribe to my channel and get inspired. And don't forget to click the notification bell. See ya!